Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kayla and welcome. Okay, so in today's video, I figured with all the holiday parties going on for Christmas, we've got New Year's Eve coming up. I know some of you may be enjoying an extra glass of wine or maybe some eggnog with rum in it, or maybe you're gonna go all out for New Year's Eve celebrations. Either way, I just wanna make sure that you are fully equipped to avoid the dreaded hangover. Me personally, I'm not really a big drinker, but I do like to enjoy a glass of wine or two, maybe a cocktail on a special occasion. And every time I drink, I try to do the tips that I'm going to mention in this video. And when I remember to do them, I'm telling you, it makes the biggest difference in how I feel the next day. Now, of course, alcohol is very hard on your liver, so I don't recommend drinking regularly. But, you know, every now and then, if you want to indulge for special occasions, I understand. So I am here to make sure you put as least of a burden as possible on your liver and to help you avoid the hangover. Okay, so let's start with the day of or the night of that you'll actually be consuming the alcohol. What are some of the things that you can do before you start drinking or even while you're drinking to help avoid the hangover the next day or at least lessen some of the symptoms? The first thing that you can do, and this is probably the most obvious, is to make sure that you're drinking a glass of water in between each alcoholic beverage. Now, alcohol is a diuretic, so it does dehydrate you, and that's part of the reason why you have such a bad headache the next day is because you're slightly dehydrated. And one way to avoid that is to make sure that you drink a glass of water, I'm talking about a whole glass, in between each alcoholic beverage. The second thing you can do is to choose your alcohol wisely. Yes, the type of alcohol that you consume can make the biggest difference in how you feel the next day. In the process of producing ethanol, which is what alcohol is, it can result in certain toxic byproducts, and one of them is called congeners. Now, several studies have shown that hangovers are largely influenced by these congeners. So it makes sense that if you choose an alcohol that's lower in congeners, your hangovers won't be nearly as bad and you may even be able to avoid them altogether. And the rule of thumb is that your darker spirits, so your bourbons, your whiskeys, red wines, things like that, are going to be higher in congeners. And your lighter spirits like vodka, gin, rum, white wine, those are going to be lower in congeners. In fact, the alcohol with the lowest amount of congeners is vodka, and the worst offender is probably going to be beer, because not only do you have to worry about the congeners, but a lot of beer contains mycotoxins, which are a toxic byproduct of mold. So yeah, I think beer would be the worst offender when it comes to drinking. So yeah, the alcohol that you choose can make a big difference in how you feel the next day. And the third thing that you can do is to take a vitamin C supplement before you start drinking and even after you finish drinking, if you can remember, because in the process of your body metabolizing alcohol, a byproduct is produced that's called acetaldehyde, and acetaldehyde is very hard on your liver. So by taking vitamin C, it's going to help to support your liver by increasing glutathione production, which is going to help to speed up the metabolism of alcohol, which of course translates into less hangover symptoms the next day. And an interesting side note is that candida can produce acetaldehyde as well. That's why people that have candida overgrowth, they sort of have that spacey drunk feeling. And another good supplement that you can take is molybdenum. Molybdenum helps to convert acetaldehyde into acetic acid, which is a lot easier for your body to get rid of. So take molybdenum in addition to vitamin C to avoid a hangover, but also for those of you that may be on a candida diet to get rid of candida, take molybdenum to avoid a lot of the die-off symptoms. Okay, so those are some of the things that you can do the day that you'll be drinking, but maybe you still have a hangover the next day or you didn't do those things, you forgot. What are some things that you can do the next day to get rid of the hangover? Well, for one, you can replenish your electrolytes. Now, like I told you earlier, alcohol is a diuretic, so it does get rid of a lot of the sodium and potassium in your body, and that's probably why you feel a little sluggish and tired. You may have a little headache the next day, so you want to make sure that you're replenishing those electrolytes. You can do that with, coconut water, bone broth, bananas, organic pickles, avocados, things like that. Just make sure you're eating a lot of foods and liquids that contain electrolytes. Another thing that you can do is to take activated charcoal. Now, activated charcoal has been used for centuries as a natural and very powerful detoxifier. It contains these tiny little pores that basically bind to the toxins and get them out of your body very quickly. So this would primarily be for those of you that maybe drank a little too much the night before. If you want to get those toxic byproducts like the congeners we talked about earlier out of your system very quickly, then activated charcoal is the way to go. And if you're feeling nauseous the next day, another thing you can do is consume ginger. So anything ginger seems to work. We're talking ginger candy, ginger tea. You can just take fresh ginger root and put it in a smoothie. You can juice it. Whatever way you use it, ginger is great for soothing the stomach and getting rid of nauseousness. All right, y'all, that is it for today's video. I hope that these tips were helpful to you. If they were, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you plan on trying some of these tips during the holidays, then comment below and let me know. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you love healthy recipes and lifestyle advice, then subscribe below. And I hope y'all have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.